Moving on to Tampa Bay, where they wore the creamsicles breach back when Jim Breach was kicking field goals for the Bengals and had to play John McKay. What do you think of the execution of your team? I'm in favor of it. One of the best lines ever. Baker Mayfield came back down to earth. Jared Goff remains one of the best quarterbacks on planet Earth. I love saying that out loud. Man, the Lions are so much fun. They went down there and did what they need to do. Brenton, I'll come back to you. You can take this either way you want. I'm all in on the Lions. I have been for some time. Has the door been closed on the Buccaneers, or are we still giving them some hope because they're in the NFC?
No, NFC South's bad. Bucs are still fine. Panthers are obviously trash. Falcons are up and down and just live on the edge of close games. The Saints, I don't know why people still believe in them. They're just not very good. So the Bucs can definitely win the division and make the playoffs. The Lions, to me, are the much bigger story. This is an awesome football team. The Bucs have Vita Vea, whose name I mispronounce all the time because he sounds like a wine bar at Raleigh, who, you can't run on the Bucs, right? And David Montgomery gets hurt, leaves the game, is ruled out. He has 6 carries for 14 yards. Craig Reynolds, 10 carries, 15 yards. Zigbo has 3 carries for 5 yards. Goff, 2 carries for 3 yards. And Khalif Raymond, 1 carry for 3 yards. No one averaged more than 3 yards per carry, right? They can't run the ball at all. This has sort of been their bread and butter, this aggressive running team. Feed David Montgomery, physical, down your throat with this great offensive line. So okay, that's cool. We'll just go Star Wars on you with Jared Goff. 30 of 44, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, a bomb to Jameson Williams, who now gives him a vertical threat. He was supposed to be serving the final game of a gambling suspension today, but instead the NFL changed their policy because the NFL is operated by a roulette machine. And Amon St. Brown comes back from suspension, or comes back from injury, 15 targets, 12 catches, 124 yards and a touchdown. This team is really, really good. And I think if they wore a different uniform, if they wore Packers uniforms or were Cowboys uniforms, we would put them with the Eagles and the 49ers as equals in terms of how they play in the NFC.
I did that last segment.
I did?
I did, not you. Me.
Oh, I said that last week. And all this week. I have visions dancing in my head. And this is the I guess I shouldn't do this because I'm going to give away the Super Bowl draft if we ever do one. But I think it's going to be a Lions-Dolphins Super Bowl.
I thought for sure you're having visions of an all-cat Super Bowl. I'm disappointed, Brinson.
Well, I like the idea of a lion fighting a dolphin.
Rich, let me ask you this: How good would the Bengals be if Dan Campbell were their coach?
I mean, Dan Campbell is a nut in the best kind of way, and I love that the team just kind of takes on his attitude, and you totally see that with the way they play defense. I mean, the Buccaneers could not do anything in this game offensively. And I think that's one of the things that the Lions are just so underrated on defense. And they didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs here. And yes, as Brinson knows, they didn't get Jameson Williams back, who came up with that huge play. But Amon-Ra St. Brown was dealing with injuries coming into this game. He came back. He has a huge game. And it's just
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's on IR. Brian Branch was hurt and missed this game. They have more upside than what they've even shown.
And they only rushed for 40 yards. It just doesn't matter. The Lions just find new ways to beat you. It's like an actual line that might eat your arm one day, but then the next day it eats your leg. Just whatever day it has to do it, it's going to do it. And that's where we are now. So I agree with you guys. I think the Lions.
I can't believe you didn't go with the kneecap eating. You just blew it. So
it's a softball.
Fire up the time machine, Harry, so we can go back to that again. I'll leave you with this fun fact about my guy, Jared Goff. He is now 13-3 in his last 16 starts. Over that span, he is a 28-4 touchdown interception ratio, averages 7.7 yards per attempt, completed 67% of his throws. And by the way, those 13 wins trail only some guy named Patrick Mahomes, who has 14 for the most wins by a quarterback over that same span. This team is balling. And look, you can credit Brad Holmes, of course, for putting this team together, getting Jared Goff from L.A. The offensive line is one of the best, if not the best in the NFL. They have playmakers at all the skill positions. The defense is great this year. Aaron Glenn is so pumped about that. All I would warn is that this was the plan that Brian Daboll had with that offensive line, and all those guys got hurt. So it's a tenuous hold on success, and right now it's a lot of fun to watch for the Lions. Brenton, give me your percentages of the top 3 teams in the NFC in terms of them making the Super Bowl. The Brenton percentage, not what the Vegas thinks. So, Philly, SF, and DET.
I would say that, Man, I'm going to say that it is. We've two that has Brock Purdy played the Super Bowl? No, he played in the NFC Championship game, right? Two of the three quarterbacks we're talking about have been to a Super Bowl before. Hurts was there last year, and Goff went with the Rams when they lost to the Patriots. So I think the NFC champion's coming out of this group for sure, unless we just get a white hot Matthew Stafford again or something like that. I'll say the Lions are. So you started baseline 33.33%. I'm going to bump the Lions up to 40%. I'm going to move the Eagles down 7% to 25 and leave the Niners at 33.
The Lions at the top?
Yeah, baby. Give me Detroit.
I like it.
A perennial loser who roots for NC State wants to hope for all the other losers to get something.